Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. My name is Trent of trenttokens.com. I'm a really big fan of the game called True Dungeon and a very avid collector of tokens, which you can see a lot of back here. And hello, everyone in chat. Look at all these people lined up. Hello, Kevin, Brian, Chris, Amir, Ian, Kelly, Ben, David, Belinda, Myron, Ryan, Larry, McGaggy, Metaphoric, AK, Dennis, Garrett, Delegate Andy, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Amish 789, Buck Aiden, John at True Dungeon, Dennis, hello Dennis, and Limitless, and James, and Kenneth, Jim, Aaron, Wade, Dan, Cover Stealing Badger, Vicky, hello everyone. Wow, what a group already. So yeah, this is a really big show, as I like to say. So we got lots to talk about, but I'm going to dive right in. First, I've got to do that algorithm thing that I always forget about. Last I checked, there's 495 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It would be awesome to get to 500. So we have to like and subscribe and do all that other algorithm stuff to help the show, to help the really big show. Also, this is the 8th anniversary of Trent Tokens. I started May 14th, 2017. So I'm going to be doing a special drawing at the end for a golden ticket, 2025 golden ticket. And besides that, I'm also doing my normal giveaways, but you have to watch the show live and stick around until the end. In order to enter the drawing, check chat. There's a pinned link. Click that link. Just input your information there. I don't do anything with that information, so fret not. That's just to do the drawing. There'll be 4 prizes this time. First place is a 25K bar and a treasure chip. Second place, 5K bar and a 3X chip. And third place is a 1K bar and a 10X chip. But for the grand prize, as I mentioned, the golden ticket, a 2025 version. Garrett says, is that really a golden ticket? That's huge. Well, this is a coaster. This is something they did new this year. You can still buy the 10 packs and pull the golden ticket like normal. But if you bought the 8K set, you got this coaster mailed with you and all the other stuff. So you'll get a code emailed to you from me and that coaster, which is really cool. Let's see, what else? Yeah, just lots and lots to discuss. So without further ado, let's get to the man, the myth, the legend. Everyone, please say hello to Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon.
Howdy.
Oh, look at that audience. So many people, man. And you know, all the tickets were free, so that's why we were able to fill up the theater.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, Jeff. So good to see you.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while. I appreciate you having me back on.
It has been a while. I apologize. What happened? Let's see. 2 things happened. Oh, yeah, I moved. So, this is the new studio. I'll do a little tour later. I moved. It was only a couple blocks, so it was like we used to live over there, but now we live over here. And then I was out of town for a while. So, yeah, my apologies. It's been a while since we did a show. So let's see who else has joined us. Man, so many people. Yes. So we were right around Vicky, Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Long time no see. Love and life. Kevin again. Natalie. Steve. Hello, Steve. Brian. Ryan. And John says hello. Salsa John. Hello. Wade says shows 497. So that means some of you click subscribe. Thank you. Everybody, please click subscribe. We got to get to 500. And let's see, Dennis would like to help, but he's already subscribed. That's okay, Dennis. Thank you. So a lot of people saying hello. David, hello, David, made it. Dave, let's see. Metaphoric Dragon says, getting to Gen Con for the first time in years. I need to upgrade my build. Yeah. Hello, Fred. And you made it over 500 last I saw. What? Vicky says, volunteering for Gen Con again this year. So stoked. Thank you for volunteering. I'm over. Oh, my God. Garrett says 504 now. Refresh. Thank you, everybody. Can I check it? That's all right. I'll check it later. But thank you, everybody, for getting me over 500. So, Jeff, that's what the show is. We're just going to sit here. I'm going to read chat, and then we'll just, our subscribers will just increase. Is that okay for you? Is that what we do for the show?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
Ooh, man. So yeah, Jeff, we have lots to discuss, but
We do.
Oh, you know what? I want to look at this thing here. I'm trying something new. This is with chat. So
Nice. Now I get to see the chat. I've never
so
seen
Jeff
the chat.
never gets to see the chat. So nobody talk dirty, okay? So this is, where is this? This is kind of like the top end of chat. So it's kind of scrolling. So yeah, that's what chat looks like. I got to figure out how I can manipulate it on the screen. All right, so lots to discuss. One of the big things, we got a little bit of breaking news here. So let's do this one, everyone's favorite.
Breaking news. Yeah, see? Breaking news.
Jeff, I understand that our breaking news is there's a new trailer, a trailer for Gen Con. Is that right?
That's what I hear.
That's what you hear?
That's what I hear. Yeah.
And this is something that your smart son did some editing on. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We decided to go with a little more of a slower paced cinematic type of thing a little bit here than we normally do, kind of a fast paced kind of but we just kind of wanted to show some of the cool sets and props that we've got.
Awesome. So here is the premiere of the Gen Con 2025 trailer. Enjoy, everyone. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, it's lots of very cool atmosphere. It looks like the puzzles are going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. And the tickets, somebody in chat probably knows when the Gen Con tickets go on sale. I can't remember. But yeah, go to GenCon.com.
I think it's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Don't quote me, but...
Yeah, isn't it usually on like a... Oh, well, it's like a wish list. First, we do a wish list, and then you process the wish list. Yeah. So May 18th, I guess, is the... is that the wish list or the purchasing? Oh, we can wish list tomorrow. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad chat knows what's going on. So we can wish list tomorrow, and May 18th, which, yeah, is a Sunday. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Today's Saturday. That's why you said tomorrow. Yeah. So anyway, me and a couple of my friends, what we do is we all click our list real quick, and then we get on a Zoom call to see who won. So I highly recommend that for people out there. All right. So I'm looking at chat, and before I forget, I want to tell chat and anybody else who's listening to this before May 14th. In addition to this being the 8th anniversary of Trent Tokens and giving out the golden ticket, I'm also running a 10% special. So you can go to trenttokens.com, and the coupon code is Happy8th. You can see how to write it there with a little exclamation point on the site. Exclamation point, rather. And that runs until May 14th, which is the exact 8 years that I have had the site going. So, also for chat, if you'd like to ask questions, that's one of the cool things about having Jeff here. You can ask him questions. So just ask any questions you want about Gen Con. We're going to be talking about Origins as well. And, you know, how he was able to convince Lori to marry him. I mean, he's an open book, so ask anything you like. Now, speaking of new and exciting things. This is a surprise virtual True Dungeon, Raven's Eye, at the end of May 30th through June 1st. This was a big surprise, I think, to everybody. How did this come about, and what caused you to decide to add this?
Well, it's a couple of things. I guess as you can see from the trailer, there's not going to be a fourth event like last year. We had a fourth event last year, a 4-room dungeon. So we decided, since we made the call of not doing that we would take the development time and be able to present another really cool VTD event for everybody. So this is kind of like, hey, well, we've got the time, let's do it, and let's have a nice little prep adventure right before Gen Con. And
got it. So you're talking about, you named it something Conquest, yeah. So may I ask why you didn't decide to do that? Was it
that is a very good question. A couple of things. So as you guys know, we were always trying to recruit for volunteers, and we were right on the cusp. We probably could have done it, but we always had this unknown. Life happens to people, and we have a bunch of cancelizations, right? Volunteers canceling right before an event. So we didn't want to risk the fact that we were going to have, if we had the normal amount of cancellations, it would have been really close. So we decided it would be better. We didn't want to put out like a really bad, first adventure for all these people playing the first time.
Right.
So just to be, on the safe side, we decided just to cancel that and to do virtual instead.
Okay. So what could you tell us about Raven's Eye? It sounds very ominous.
Very ominous. Well, and the other thing I was going to say, it also allowed us to put more room and devote more room to the big 3 dungeons. So we're taking some of that space. Yeah, we've got something new this year. Well, kind of new. We haven't done it in a while. In the dungeon should be fun, and so that's helpful as well. Raven's Eye. Well, the team that brought you the beginning spring stuff, they got together and it came up with a really good idea for a prep adventure that leads. It's like basically right before you take off to go to Raven's Hold.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your little prep adventure, just leading straight up to Raven's Hold. So right on Raven's Hold.
Oh, okay.
Fun. Yeah.
Sweet. Speaking of right on Raven's Hold, so this is at the end of May, beginning of June. And then in the middle of June, we've got Origins, which is the premiere of Raid on Raven's Hold. I'm sure that they're excited about that. I know I'm excited. Anybody else going to Origins in chat? Hopefully, I'll see you there. What can you tell us about Raid on Raven's Hold, part 1 of this trilogy?
Yeah. Just that we're super psyched to present this at Origins. What's nice about having an event at Origins, there's like a lot of really good volunteers that live kind of in that general area. So we got a great cast of NPCs, DMs, Blue Hands, everybody. And it should be a really good show. And it's great that we'll have a chance to kind of present it once before we bring it to Gen Con. So it'll be great for the folks there. It'll be nice for people at Gen Con because they'll have had an event that's had a little bit of tweaking done to it.
Awesome. All right, so I'm looking at chat here. It looks like some people are going to be there. Awesome. Looks like Wade, Boke Aiden is doing the build. Belinda is volunteering. Belinda, are you doing what's that called?
Being awesome.
The training. Being awesome? Yeah. Are you doing the Being Awesome thing? Training,
she does
right?
That every time.
Yeah, Belinda is an awesome trainer. I brought lots of new people in, and Belinda is just great. I mean, there's volunteers are always awesome, but I mean, I think Belinda just kicks it up a notch. She's just an amazing trainer. Ben Strobel says that this will be his first live play at Origins. Awesome. Kelly is volunteering. Larry will be there. Chris Amir will be there for one day. I think I saw that in chat, or in the forum rather. Vicky says, babe, do you think we can do Raven's Eye? So I'm not sure if Vicky's talking to me or you. Who do you think?
Probably both.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can. That's my answer.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
I think
so these two babes We think we can, Vicky. So David says, absolutely, Origins last year introduced me to True Dungeon. Oh, awesome. So that's great, because last year's Origins was kind of like a mini dungeon, hopefully to spread the news about True Dungeon.
Did it work?
All right, so Kevin can't make it. John says the volunteers are awesome. Draken20 says hi from Canada. That's awesome. And Belinda says training room. Andy's volunteering, will be at Origins. Draken will be an adventure coordinator. Stephanie says excited to be going to Origins for the first time. Awesome. It's a good one. Go back to what is new that you haven't done in a while, please. What is coming back? Okay, so Wade has a question. Wait, go back to what is new that you haven't done in a while, please. What is coming back? So something, you mentioned something in the dungeon because you had more room.
Yeah. Oh, well, all right, I don't want to spoil it.
When you said it, I didn't want to say something because I thought you didn't want to reveal it.
It's not that big a deal, so I don't want everybody to get all crazy, but we're going to have dedicated epilogue rooms for all the adventures. So instead of getting shoved out into the cold, dark utility corridor out there in the bright fluorescent light, your adventure will continue in atmosphere for a little bit longer while you get your loot and perhaps take a photo or two, and you might even get a little epilogue message from your NPC in there to kind of tie up the adventure and maybe tease the next one.
Wow. Thank you for asking that, Wade. Okay, so let me check. Steel Kiss, hello from Jacksonville. Love and Life will be at Gen Con. Yeah, Wade, we got it now. Steel Kiss will be there. Wade is happy about what you just said. That does sound cool. And Wade said he was hoping for True Tavern. I think, yeah. I really, I would love to do that one day, but you know, there's probably so many moving parts. All right, so anything else you would like to tell us about Origins and Raid on Ravenshold?
Just if you could make it come out. Origins is a great con in that it's like the perfect size. It's not too crazy big. There's never any huge crowds that you got to fight, and it's just, you can play TD the whole con if you like, and there's some really great restaurants and stuff nearby, so it's just a nice con. I always like going there.
Oh yeah, I was actually hello William. Metaphoric Dragon says that he has an admission token from True Tavern still. Yeah, so I agree about Origins. In addition to all of that, love some of the restaurants there. There's going to be True Grind and Transmuting. So what can you tell us about Loki's Labyrinth?
Well, Paul keeps just kicking butt, and he's got another one ready for you guys. Should be a hoot. Yeah, it's got a nice dedicated space for it inside, and we've got even a dedicated little coaching area. So I think it looks like it'll be just as great as all this other stuff. So it should be good.
Yeah, True Grind is amazing. It's, if you've never heard of it, most will say it's for advanced players. It's just a combat fest of death and mayhem. And for the patrons, we got a Ribbon of the Rune Fiend, -2 monster AC per hit in True Grind, 6 up to 6 max, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that's gonna, there it is. So that was awesome from the patron event. Yeah, Paul and Raven are just hitting it out of the park. It's amazing. I highly recommend True Grind. Usually you can't even get a ticket. They just go, they sell out so quickly. But I have seen a few available tickets in the forum. So check out the forums if you haven't seen that yet. Okay, it looks like we... Ross would like XP for the epilogue room, since it's an extra room. Just think about that.
All right. We'll think about that.
And let's see. Ryan says the story arc has been fantastic so far this year. I agree. And let's see. Rob Bob suggests True Tavern at RainCon. That's an interesting.
I think that's a possibility for sure.
Yeah, we should talk about that. Let's get our people to talk to each other. Scott says, will you bring the Origins True Grind to Gen Con? Would love to do that. As far as I know, that's the same one, right? At Gen Con? Not at Gen Con, at GamehoCon.
GamehoCon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we'd, just so Paul can have a good Gen Con. And for other reasons, it's nice to just do True Grind at the smaller cons.
Yeah.
It makes them kind of cool too. So, yeah, it's just, I think it's, for a lot of reasons, it's probably best just to do it like we're doing it now.
Yeah, I agree. True Grind at Gen Con is tough. Each time that I've seen it there, it's been a little rough. It's kind of a rough event to do at Gen Con. Hopefully, everybody who wants to try it can catch either Origins or GamehoCon. Chris remembers being eaten during True Grind. I remember having my head chopped off and replaced by someone else's head. Yeah, it's lots of craziness. Wade describes True Grind as an RPG that uses True Dungeon for the combat resolution. You can use any token in any way that occurs to you. Yeah, you can definitely be creative. David DeAngelis says that his wife Katie is asking if there would ever be a more open, if they would ever be more open, or oh boy, hold on, David, I'm trying to decipher this. It's asking if there would ever be a more open R2 go over builds and options before getting into the game. We were a little overwhelmed last year for the first time, but I've done research. Okay, so it's open area. Oh, okay, so I see what you're saying. So David is asking, is there an open area, I think, if I get this right, to go over tokens?
Sure. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we can make it happen. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was a place that just said new player area, questions answered here, and there's somebody there that's a token expert type thing, can explain them to you and kind of how the game works. If we have the personnel, we could do that. We're usually pretty tight on the folks that have that skill set. So, but I'll talk to the smart ladies and see what we can do.
You know, I've actually seen people doing that before, either at the, like at Gen Con, either at the spot where they're selling tokens, they'll have a character map or character, card, and then also at the volunteer check-in, they'll have it there as well with a handful of tokens. So I've seen it happen maybe unofficially or so. And for every convention except Gen Con, where you guys are, where there's a True Dungeon, there's, what do I call it? The Trent Tokens area? Tokens sitting area? Oh, man, I forgot my own thing. What's that thing called? You remember? Trent's Lounge. Ah, there it is. Yeah, Alex named that from GamehoCon. So yeah, there's a Trent's Lounge, so people can definitely hang out there and help each other. So, but yeah, that's a good idea to pass along. All right, I'm trying to catch up here on the chat here. Okay, so David, hopefully that answers your question. All right, so David, Trent Lake County sponsors Trent's Lounge. Oh yeah, so that's what I was just mentioning. And John also said there's a bunch of builds on the forums, and if you don't know that yet, on the forums for each class they have their own little section. So if you were working on a bard build, you could go to the bard section and say, hey, what do you guys think about this? All right, so John has a question. Jeff, did you get enough scary ideas for the future?
Scary ideas for the future, yes, I think I did. Gonna go down there, down to Halloween Haunt Nights again in the fall and see what I can do. Hopefully I'll be able to visit there's the new Epic Universe, the cool new Monsters Alive section. Plan on visiting there, try to get some crazy ideas. But yeah, just I've been a fan of the Universal Monster thing and Ravenloft for a long time, so I don't think I'll need it, but who knows? Yeah,
I heard about that. That does sound like a really cool new thing. All right, speaking of new, that some people might not think is cool, the next topic on our long list of things to discuss is dun 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 tariffs
Oh,
and
you had to put
2026
it on the
tokens.
screen, didn't
Oh, well, I could maybe hold up a sign back here. So yeah, lots of. When I was advertising the show, I said there's going to be lots of topics that we'll be discussing. This is one of them. So it's a lot of information. So I made basically kind of like slides to talk about them. So again, in chat, if you have a question, maybe if you could type the word question and then like what your question is, so I could kind of catch it, because from the chat here you can see that it's blazing through, lots of people involved, and I appreciate that. Everybody getting involved in the chat. And as speaking of that, this might be a good time to remind you, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. We're now over 500 subscribers. Yeah, punch, what is it? It's over, wherever that thing is. Yeah, it really helps spread the love of True Dungeon and the show. All right, so Still Kiss has a question. 2 questions. So let me jump over here and go to this question screen. Well, first, Jim says that transmuting was on the last slide but not mentioned. So yes, there will be transmuting at Origins.
Yep. John will be there.
Do we know the times? So John might know the times in chat. He could answer that.
Yep. And this time the transmuting will be at the event, not like on another little hallway.
Right. And also Belinda says on the previous show, Jeff said transmuting would be on Saturday at Origins. Is that still the plan, or will there be other days? Do you know?
It's up to John. He's going to be doing all the work. So.
Okay, John, in chat, answer these questions about transmuting.
If he's still there, who knows?
Oh,
but
maybe.
Yeah, it'll be Saturday. He might do earlier, but I think probably a lot of it has to do with how he thinks the setup and everything's going to go. So he may be waiting. Or I'll just say that maybe the reason I don't know is because we're still thinking about it. But yeah, we might do Saturday or Friday and Saturday. Who knows?
Right, and I assume as soon as you know for sure, you'll announce it. All right, so Still Kiss has a question. 2 questions. Number 1, will you be expanding to any other conventions? And his next question is, and will we see a Death Knight as a main baddie?
Death Knight. Dun, dun, dun. Who knows? We are actually talking to a few other cons right now. We'd love to go. We're trying to make it happen. Like to spread the love, as you like to say. So if we have anything definite, anything signed on the dotted, but fingers crossed, something will come along, and maybe even 2 places in 26. We'll let you know as soon as we know.
Now, I know you can't say much, but could you tell us the region? Like Northwest?
Somewhere
Midwest?
within the United States.
Great. That's a stupid question. All right, never mind.
Sorry, Canada.
Sorry, Canada. Okay, so John says about the transmuting, Saturday only unless build goes well. So all you builders, go well, so John can do more. Poor John, always having to do that. Poor guy. He's got a tough life. Gets to play with True Dungeon and tokens all the time. What a tough life. All right, so Bill says he goes to Halloween Horror Nights every year. Oh, that's right, Mr. Retired Lucky Man.
Yeah.
All right, so back to this topic at hand, Tariffs and 2026 tokens. There is a lot to discuss when it comes to this, so I made little sections here. So what we're going to discuss are the changes for token changes for the 2026 season, and these are the topics: starter packs and buying tokens, the treasure mix, and what changes will be happening there, and question mark, will there be an increase in the price? So anybody has any questions in the chat, please let us know. You can read what we have here. I'll discuss this as well, and Jeff can add anything he would like to ask. But before that, Draken20 has a question. Any plans on cons in Canada?
Not currently. We talked a couple of years ago. It just didn't work out. It was too much logistics getting the stuff across the border, and there were some other trucking issues at the time, so it just didn't work out. But we're open to it. Somebody there wants to make it happen, but there's some logistical issues with going across the border, unfortunately.
Got it. Okay. Great. Thank you for the question. All right. When it comes to starter packs and buying tokens, by now you guys have probably already read this. Traditionally, whatever year, whatever season you're playing, you get a 10 pack in virtual and at physical conventions or conventions. You get a 10 pack of that year. But for 2026, there will be no players that start 2026 10 packs given out for VTD or conventions. Instead of the 2026 10 packs, you'll get 10 packs from previous years. So when you get your VTD treasure mailed to you, it will be from previous years, not 2026. And when you play a convention, play the adventure at a convention, the 10 packs you'll get will also be from previous years. Now, you can still buy them from when you buy your VTD tickets. I just checked a couple days ago, and you can actually, it says 200, so you can buy 200 when you get a VTD ticket if you want. And, of course, at conventions, they have a little area where you can buy 10 packs to beef up your character when you want to play. Importantly, when it comes to the True Dungeon site, nothing's going to change about buying the 2026 tokens. You can still get, the 10 packs, the 250, the 1K, 2K, 8K, etc. So that will not change. When you buy those, you will be getting the 2026 10 packs. Whew. So that's a lot of info. Any questions from the chat or anything you want to add?
Just the general. I mean, geopolitics aside and all that. So yeah, the current tariff situation is like a big unknown for us. I'm hoping it gets resolved, but we really can't hope. So we're taking what we think is a kind of a prudent and measured way of doing this, in that we're I think this will make the least impact to the game. Not getting that current year's tokens when you start an adventure is not ideal, but it seemed like the best place to do some trimming, and then also having less of the current year ultra rare, uncommons and rares and treasure mix was another prudent way of trimming down the size of the order that we had to place. So I'm hoping people will roll with this and understand, and we did everything we could, so nothing else is changing. We're at participation tokens, anything, you can buy anything you want, just like normal. Nothing else changes. It's just these two little changes, and that makes a big difference on the size of order that we have to place. So hopefully it gets resolved by the time the tokens hit the shore. We'll see. If not, we're prepared to pay the tariff that's currently out there. But by reducing, and you guys basically putting up with these changes, makes it so that if they do hit, that it's not such a hit to the bottom line and funding for the event.
Yep, got it. All right, so we've got some questions here.
Everybody putting up with this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is the whole year and everything is back to normal in 27.
Yep, understood. So it sounds like, if I heard you just now, I think I heard you say if things get back to quote-unquote normal in the next year, then you would go back to what you've done in previous years. So this might only be a 2026 change if we're lucky. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think the cat's out of the bag. I'm not to get too much into geopolitics, but I think the cat's out of the bag on this, and I don't think there's a very low chance it's going to go back to zero tariff on our product, product ID, but we can handle a smaller one, I think, and go back to normal. So we'll see what happens. It's a very fluid situation, as you know, and there could be a big agreement and then it fall apart 3 months later or whatever. So just hang loose, and hopefully everything will work out and it'll be honky-dory.
Got it.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. So first, backing up a hair, Myron says John can recruit him for helping and transmute any day other than Saturday, meaning Friday or even Sunday if he wants. Thank you, Myron. Dan on maybe a more exciting topic, ask any new RingCon info to share. Anything you can share about that?
No, I mean, I have a lot more ideas, but nothing I want to say because it could be, yeah. I think it's gonna be really cool. I can just keep saying that. I want to make a cool event for you guys. Deserve a cool event, so we're gonna try to make it happen. So without giving too many details, but should be a fun weekend.
Got it. I'm pumped. I think it's going to be awesome. All right. So AK has a question. 10 packs, previous years of 2025 or 2018 plus as inventory allows. Do you want to say anything more or just pre-2026?
It'd all be from 2020 on up through those years, within the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah. I won't be anything earlier than 2020. Okay.
So nothing earlier than 2020. Scott says, question, so you're getting a 10 pack but not the 2026 tokens, correct? And let's see, Captain Bob, the same question. Belinda says, boo, Tariffs, boo. Okay, good. Bill, we answered that. Ross, we're about to talk about treasure pools. And Eden, I think we just got that question answered. And let's see. Yep. I'm just trying to. Okay. Sorry. Trying to catch up here. So many words. All right. So remember, if you have a question, say question. All right. So Steven has a question. The change in the free pack will mostly impact new players and not token fanatics. So new players will be able to make equipment with older tokens. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, correct. And we've already thought of ways to get the newer players kind of into the game. There'll be probably ways that the early part of the dungeon that you can get some of those maybe bonuses that you would have maybe with uncommon, rare, maybe even a common token. Like, you can do extra damage to a certain monster class or that kind of thing. We'll try to work that in so they get an idea of kind of how that works. Even though it won't be on a token, there'll probably be a way in the dungeon itself to gain some of those token powers.
Cool. Got it. All right. So Belinda says, to be clear, support TD doing whatever is needed to get through this period. I concur. Jim Harris says, Trent, which class do you play? Man, Jim, we're talking about my favorite subject, me. My favorite subject. I think Jeff knows that. Besides being super handsome and smart, I'm also humble. I'm like the best at being humble.
I am the best at being humble.
And Chris Samir answered the question. And other people are answering the question too. Yes, I typically play Barbarian. When I first started playing, I looked at all the classes, and I knew I didn't want to do any of the wizard stuff because usually wizard people are smart, so I knew I couldn't do that. And Barbarian sounded cool. It had like a two-handed axe, so I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So that I typically play that. David hopes to make RingCon. Oh, man, you got to try. RingCon's going to be amazing. And Shane, we're about to talk about that. Rob has a question. Will there be 2026 Onyx tokens?
Yep, everything's the same. Nothing changes on the token site. You can you want just the two things that we mentioned, the treasure mix and the starter packs at a con or at ETD.
Got it. Scott has a question. How does the 10-pack change impact transmutes, do you think?
Hopefully not too much. We'll see. Hopefully not too much. We may have to tweak some things, but we're going over the recipes right now. Now that this is kind of out of the bag, we can get more feedback from the token collectors about all this in the forums.
Yeah, so the recipe discussion is happening now in the forum if you'd like to be involved. Jim Harris says that he's a first timer in this chat. Jim, welcome. Do me a favor, email me at trent@trenttokens.com and remind me that you are a first timer in chat. Maybe I can send you a little welcome gift. And Eberron says I'm a typical glass cannon barbarian. So that's good. And yes, other people are saying welcome, Jim. Welcome, Jim. Next topic that couple of people were asking about is the treasure mix.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the change when it comes to the 2026 treasure mix. So far, we've just talked about the 10 packs for VTD and the conventions. You'll still get 10 packs, but for 2026, you're still going to get uncommon and rare tokens as part of the treasure mix. But instead of the 2026 treasure, there'll be some 2026 tokens, but it will be mostly from previous years. So just the uncommon and rare portion of the 2026 treasure is going to change. For VTD and conventions, the treasure mix will have some 2026 uncommon and rare tokens, but the majority of it will be from previous years. Now, what's important to note, anything that's not uncommon and rare, that's not changing. So the frequency of the rest of the 2026 treasure will remain the same, just like previous years. Monster trophies, treasure box only tokens, special tokens, etc. So just the uncommon and rare portion of the treasure is being impacted. You'll still get the same quantity. It's just going to be a different year, mostly, but there will be some 2026 uncommon and rare. Any questions? Ask away in chat. Jeff, anything else to add there?
Yeah, just thanks for your patience on this step we needed to do because of the tariffs. But I think this is, again, least impactful that we can do to really mitigate the size of the order and the risk that we're taking, because who knows what the tariffs could be whenever the tokens arrive. It could be twice what it is now. So it's kind of scary. We'll see what happens. We're kind of rolling the dice, but we took our best prudent guess here. So.
Well, one thing I will say is when it comes to the True Dungeon community, this is just my personal opinion, I feel like they're quite resilient and supportive and kind and caring, the majority of the people.
Agreed.
For instance, like when COVID hit, right? And remember, we were supposed to go to Atlanta to do a convention. That got canceled. And then all the other conventions got canceled. And then you came up with virtual True Dungeon, and I know a lot of people just kind of attacked that and played it like crazy because I think for the fun of it, but also I feel like to help support True Dungeon. So I feel like the majority of people will probably understand the changes and be supportive. So that's my personal opinion. Okay, let me check chat if you have any questions. Steve Austin asked, does this mean if we have another set of 40, it will still be the same pull rate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Everything stays the same. So if you weren't taking in the year on the token, it would look exactly like every other year. It's just the year of the uncommon and rares are going to be a little flighty, a little changey, but everything else stays exactly the same.
Cool. All right, so Chris says absolutely agreed. I think that might be from what I just mentioned. Vicky says first timers get gifts. Yes, Vicky. Email me at trent@trenttokens.com. And any other first timers in the chat, please email me at trent@trenttokens.com. Tell me you were new in the chat, and I'll see if I can maybe send you a little something that might help your True Dungeon journey, which is one of my favorite things to do. All right, so let me see if I can catch the chat. All right, so checking. All right, so if you have any questions, say question here. I gotta get one of those moderators. All right, here's a question. Brian, what will the percentage of 2026 rare and I think you meant maybe uncommon. So that might be tough to answer.
Yeah, I don't want to say I don't know. I mean, we're ordering some, but a lot of it depends on like how many condensed packs get ordered, because they use the same kind of stock, and we also get some back. So if everything just goes as usually does, usual exchange and usual, there'll be some, but I don't want to say it won't be the majority for sure. It probably won't even be close to half, but it'll be really, and it may depend on the time of year as well. Like if we have a bunch of uncommon and rare 26s come back for transmuting, then there might be a con or two where there's a little higher rate of those. So
Got it. So get your
unfortunately, that's the name
transmuting
of
done
the
early.
that's the name of the beast there. It just kind of depends. It'll probably fluctuate. So hard to say.
So so it's less than half, and the classic supply and demand.
Yeah, and then we'll try to spread it out, but again, it's just hard to. It won't be static throughout the whole year. It'll just be kind of ebb and flow. We'll try to, if we get a bunch in, we won't of course throw those all in the next month, but we'll spread them out. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, awesome. All right, let me try to catch up on the chat here. So the Instant Classic says something interesting. Anything to keep the game going, even modified TD is the most fun I've had at most of the cons that I go to. And a lot of people saying they're just loving the VTD, which I completely agree with. All right, so Vicky says, yes, sir, great. John says, questions, how about old timers? No, you get nothing for free, old timers. Well, actually, except all the free stuff that I do all year. Like today. Speaking of that, don't forget, click on that link. Thank you for the reminder, John. Click on the link that's pinned, and at the end of the show, I don't know why I'm saying show, I'll be giving away gold and treasure chips and the grand prize of a golden ticket. Jim says, I was not fishing for gifts. I was genuinely curious about the class question. I realized it was naive without the context. No, not naive at all. Not everybody knows that I play Barbarian, but don't be silly. Everyone is extremely welcoming with new people. I, believe it or not, consider myself pretty shy, and I just lurked the forums for like 6 months. I never posted anything. I was afraid because I consider myself a giant dork. But eventually I asked a question. So if anyone ever feels like a dork, it's okay. The True Dungeon community is very cool, very kind, very welcoming, and very helpful. So ask any questions you want. And Raven says they're a first-timer. That's not true. Oh, well, maybe a first-timer because you were at the first Gen Con. That's true. So Kenneth says it sounds like the common will actually be rarer than the uncommons in 2026. Maybe. All right, so here we have a question. PB the Hammer. Question, would it help to recycle transmuted common, uncommon, rare, or would that be a hygiene issue? What?
Yeah, I think what he's saying is if he transmuted some older tokens, would we reuse them and put them in the treasure? And the answer is yes. That's the plan this year, hopefully. That's how we're going to be able to get through this. Is we're going to take some of the stuff that gets transmuted all the different years and put it back into the treasure. Hopefully that's not gross for folks, but that's what we got to do just to get through this.
Got it. Now I understand. All right. So John says Trent will still get some free salsa. Thank you. I will send you my new address. Captain Bob says, first time here, started playing at Gen Con 2025. What? And I've been loving the VTD. You probably meant Gen Con 2024, right? Eberron says, we are the best dorks. I think we should get a t-shirt. We are the best dorks. I'm in. Kevin agrees. And okay, so PB the Hammer, sorry for the poor wording. Fret not. All right, so let's get to the next slide here. Thank you very much, chat, for the next topic of this discussion. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know in chat. Price change. We are, of course, curious. Will the price of 2026 tokens change? And from what I understand, the answer is we won't know until later in the year. If the tariffs remain very high, they may go up. But as an interesting side note, the prices of tokens have not gone up since 2003.
Basically, no.
Wowza.
Yeah, I just don't like raising prices. I know it's not very smart. I think I checked the other day, and the consumer price index. It's 2003 is 65%. So that equates to like an 8K should be like 13K now.
Wow.
So, but I just don't like, I don't know. We make enough and it's cool. And I like to just, I don't know, I hate to raise prices, but we'll see how it goes. Who knows what the tariffs are going to be the time we get around to it, but we'll do whatever we have to include. Yeah, we'll try not to. A lot of it just depends on, a lot of other factors. So we'll see. I wish I could give you a good answer. Like if the tariffs remain exactly where they are, this would be the price. But we got to get through Gen Con and see some other things. And it's not just that. But for almost 20 years, I've been saying, that the token collectors are the big reason we have this awesome group of folks here at VTV headquarters working here, and the awesome sets and props and monsters we can buy because they really help support the event. So we'll try not to raise the price at all if I can. I've never done it and I don't want to, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Sorry,
Great. Amazing. Any questions? Let me know in chat. Kevin says, wasn't 03 the first True Dungeon? Correct. And that's where Raven was. And let's see.
Yep. We sold 110 packs at SoCal in 2003. That was the first time we sold them.
Wow.
They were $10 a piece then.
And they're still $10 now. Speaking of 2003 tokens, I am a big collector of tokens, for anyone who didn't know that. And I have basically one of every token, with the exception that is collectible. Some of them are not collectible, like the artifacts that are soulbound to people. But I'm only missing 15 tokens from 2003. I don't know when's the last time I told you how many I'm missing, Jeff? That might be a new number to you. Yeah, I'm missing one uncommon from 2003, a smoke stick. So that's like my holy grail now. A 2003 smoke stick. Because if I can get a 2003 smoke stick, then the only ones I'm missing would be 14 rare. So if anyone has a 2003 smoke stick uncommon token, I would pay a pretty penny. And if anyone knows someone who has one, I will pay a finder's fee. So welcome to the Help Me Finish My Collection show. All right, so let me get back into the chat here. The question, Steven has a question. Can the token stickers be removed from the token back and new token stickers be put onto the back in order to avoid the tariffs if the stickers can be printed in the U.S.? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. They can, just the labor to do it would be, the adhesive that they use is extremely strong. They make it so it's not easy, of course. But yeah, you could peel it off and put new ones, but it would cost more than even with the tariffs to get it, because they're really hard to take off. And it leaves behind a residue that you got to clean with chemicals to get it off. So we've thought about it. We've experimented with it many years ago when we first started doing it, especially when we ran out of tokens a few times over the years. Ooh, it'd be really great. We could just peel some of these, but yeah, they're made not to come off, and then when they do, they're made to leave residue. So it's just not feasible, unfortunately.
Got it. Okay, good question. All right, so let me see if I can, or good answer to a good question. Trade goods can be transmuted at Origins Game Hall or by mail, says Belinda. Gen Con transmuting is all transmute except, Gen Con transmuting is all transmute except trade goods unless you're international. So Wade is spouting knowledge there, baby. That's true. Yep. Eberron says, holy crap, Trent. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Let's let's see. I think that is everyone. Still say the best token Trent has is the amulet behind him. I agree. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah. That was. I bid on that. I did not win. Someone else won, and then I said, when you're done with it, please sell it to me. And so they did. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Speaking of one of my favorites, the next topic in our line of discussion is Gen Con. But before we dive in, this is a good time to remind everyone, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that now. Really helps the show. Also, there's a big drawing at the end where I'll be giving away gold and treasure chips and a grand prize of a golden ticket. So please click the link there up in the chat. I'm not sure where it is. And then just fill that out. And you have to be present in order to win. Gen Con, 3 adventures: Raid on Ravenshold, Rune Crag Crypt, and Eldest Ice Unbroken. There's going to be some pretty amazing stuff happening at Gen Con. Can you tell us why it's going to be so amazing this year, Jeff?
Well, believe it or not, we're finally kind of over the COVID bump. It's the whole thing. Yeah, it disrupted things for several years. Previously to COVID, we had like the N series and the E series, where we had 3 kind of linked dungeons. I mean, we design them so you can play them in any order. There's no spoilers. It's not like you find something out in the second one that would ruin the first one. We try to make them self-contained, but still it's fun and interesting to play them kind of in that order. Yeah, so we're finally back to that, where we're not catching up from all the disruption, and we're back to doing 3 linked, really cool story arc adventures. It's been a lot of fun to work with the TD team to come up with the stories, and we even have the more fun of tying it into the virtual, what's going on. So it's like one huge grand year-long story arc, which I think makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun to design and do callbacks and have returning NPCs and all kinds of other stuff. But not, in addition to that, we're also like really turning up the quality of the sets and the puzzles, I think, and the props. The guys have done an amazing job here at the HQ, working with me to room I'm sitting in now. I wish you guys could see it, but it's a spoiler. It looks so amazing. We spent a lot of money and made some new tavern type walls. They're like a Waddle and Daub type. Well, you can see it there. Yeah, you'll be seeing these in the adventure. Several, actually in 2 of the adventures, you'll see these new wall systems that we have. They look really, really cool in person. They look pretty cool on the video as well. And we spent a lot on animatronics and puppets and that kind of thing. And again, we're going to have every dungeon's going to have a choice where you can do a combat or a puzzle version of that room. So I think it's going to be our best ever, especially best ever like linked 3 stories as one big story arc.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I remember the N series, which was just a whole nother level of amazing. I thought, wow, True Dungeon is about to explode, because people are going to go through here and see this and say, wow, this is the most amazing thing on the whole planet. And then soon thereafter, COVID said, just kidding. So it sounds amazing to be back there, and now even better. As it says here, all 3 dungeons are going to have a very high level of quality. They're all going to have animatronics. They're all going to have multiple NPCs. And all of them, which is amazing to hear, will be a combat and a puzzle choice. Now, the only negative there, for the people like me who are completionists, if you want to see everything, you've got to run each of them twice. I know that's hard to do, especially right at the beginning when everybody's clicking and getting all the tickets, and they sell out really quickly. But just go to the forums, watch the forums, tell people what you're looking for. People will also turn in tickets that maybe they decided they don't need. So you can get on a run if you just go to the forum and ask around. Now, the first part of part one if you wanted to do it in order, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, you know, as Jeff mentioned, you don't really have to do them in order, but it's kind of fun if you can swing it. But part one with the puzzle combat choice premieres at Origins, so if you can't go to Origins, you can see it at Gen Con. Anything else you want to say about Raid on Ravenshold that maybe we didn't mention before?
Just it was nice. I guess I would say it was really nice working with my son on some of these. First time we really got to work real close together. He's created some cool video effects for this module that people should be wild about. Should be cool.
Video effects.
Troy and John have done a really good job on the sets and some of the props that we've got some interesting tables and effects and things, so it should be cool.
Wow. And for those who don't know who Troy is, at the convention, you'll see a little short guy with a belt of tools, like blazing by you, like running 100 miles an hour on his way to do something or fix something. That's Troy.
You gotta grab him and sit him down and tell him to eat something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably
amazing.
didn't meet him or know of him for like 3 or 4 years, but he's extremely integral to True Dungeon. He builds a lot. He designs a lot. He's like a very integral guy, and I'd love to interview him on the show, but he's a little bit shy, so it's probably not going to happen. So let me catch up on chat here. Okay, so we've got Lutheran has a birthday. Lori Martin has signed in. So Lori says that I took his charge card away. Did she take your charge card?
She threatened it.
Threatened it?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Lori is Jeff's better half. Hello, Lori. And lots of people are saying hello to Lori, and Lori's awesome. And Lutheran today's daughter's TD birthday. Happy birthday. And let's see. John says, Jeff, the patron run was a lot of fun this year. And John at True Dungeon says Uncle Troy is the best. And Natalie says, tell Troy to wear a mask, come on the show. So yeah, I've got some mask up here he could wear, NPC mask. All right, so if you have any questions for Jeff, please ask away. Part 2 premiering at Gen Con will be Rune Crag Crypt. Also a puzzle combat choice. So
yeah. Also, you can, if you can't get it at Gen Con, you can go to San Japan and play it there.
That's right. I'll probably try to interview Tanya to talk about San Japan again this year. So yes, if you can't see Runecrag Crypt at Gen Con, go to San Japan, which is in San Antonio, Texas, and it's at the end of August, I think, something like
Labor
that.
Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend? Okay, great. Well, I'm sure you'll advertise it, and I'm sure I'll do a show about it. But San Japan's pretty cool. This will be year 2 that you guys are going there. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. Last year we did a 4-room, but we're gonna try to do a big 7-room, see how it goes. She's an awesome lady, and she runs a great con. You can really tell that she does it for basically to make people happy, because she treats her staff really, really well, and she's just a really nice lady, and we're happy to be like involved with her because she's just a cool lady.
Yeah. San Japan's awesome. Tanya and her husband run the show. It really packed. And by the way, sorry for that siren. If you can hear the siren, New York. Shh, everybody, stop it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, San Japan's very cool. So yeah, if you can't catch this at Gen Con, you can catch it at San Japan. What, if anything, can you tell us about Runecrag Crypt? By the way, that's a little hard for me to say because of the R's. It's a lot of R's going on in there.
Yeah, it was a little crazy, the title, but I don't know where to come up with these things. Anyway, this will be a cool, crypty, kind of scary adventure with a little change of pace. You got to prove that you are a proper Viking in this thing, so you got some Viking-y proving to do. So get to the end and gain the favor of a certain person at the end. So you should have a good time proving how good a Viking you are.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Checking in on chat. Speaking of that chat, if you have any questions, type question and let me know what the question is. And don't forget to sign up with the link above for the drawing. Let's see. Ebron has a question. Any thoughts on making a map of the TD world showing some of the dungeon locations from years past?
Yeah, I thought about doing that for many, many years. When I had my own campaigns, of course, everybody makes their own little world map and stuff. I just always put that as down on the tier of when I've got everything where I want it on the modules, I'll do that, and it just never happened. I never got to that point where I thought I was done with the adventure and I could play in that sandbox. So we kind of did that a few years ago with VTD when we moved to that little area.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Perhaps the awesome folks at VTD have made a really cool little map. So maybe we could add, this year at least, we can add all these little things on there for sure. Maybe we can get that published somewhere as well. I'll talk to Kate. Well, she made the awesome map, I believe.
Yeah, there's a T-shirt. And if anyone in chat remembers where to go to get that T-shirt with that VTD season, there is a map like on the back, I believe, where all the different things that we went to, like all the VTD adventures that we did. And speaking of that, in VTD right now, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can kind of see the progression of where you are in the rooms and how you're progressing through the different environments, which I think is a wonderful touch. So I thought that was really cool because it kind of feels like, this is where I am, this is where I'm going. I thought that was really cool. All right, so let's see, looking at chat here. So yeah, Bill says we did the pandemic shirt. That's the one that's got the map on it. You can probably pick it up, and the money goes to charity. And Rob Bob, we're about to talk about that. John has a question. Do you ever plan on making the VTD adventures available either online or in print?
Probably not. We don't really write them for printing quality, I don't think. They're more they're not written for a viewpoint of somebody that isn't like a DM. So a lot of it probably wouldn't make sense, and it's not terribly engaging if you're not they're written for the DM's perspective. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know, maybe, but again, we got to prioritize where we put our time and efforts, and I'm always wanting to work on adventures.
Got it.
A lot of fun, and it seems like the place to spend the time.
Speaking of adventures, there's one more that's going to be happening at Gen Con. Eldest Ice Unbroken, Part 3 of the story arc. Again, you can play them in any order, but this is Part 3 if you want to do it in order. It will also have a puzzle combat choice. It sounds like a really cool name, and I see some type of archway there and some type of snowy area. What can you tell us about Eldest Ice Unbroken?
Apparently you got to unbreak some ice, however you do that. You got to unbreak it. So, this is the ultimate conclusion where you got to do the thing that you've been trying to do, and you will do the thing hopefully and succeed and not die horrible death. You may have seen like if you go back and watch the video, you can see some kind of give you a hint on what's going on here. But you're traveling up into the snowy mountains, and you're gonna have some fun along the way, and you're looking for a gate of some sort to Unbroken. So
got it. Okay, so speaking of the video, we'll watch it again. We'll do a couple more questions here, and then we'll watch it again. Let's see. John at True Dungeon, Gen Con should be super awesome this year. We already have the team leads for local install involved in planning these incredible rooms. Looking forward to showing these dungeons off. Yeah. Myron says he misses those printed modules. Bulk Aiden says, I'd suspect even just the DM versions would be fine for players that they often want to know how a puzzle was supposed to be solved, etc. Nick has a question. Is there ever going to be a grind VTD? Interesting question.
Yeah, we've kind of done that sort of with some patron stuff that we've done in the past, sort of. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to... That's kind of out of my purview these days. I'm letting the kids play in that sandbox. They're doing a heck of a job, and yeah, the least I'm involved, the better, probably. But yeah, start campaigning with John. Maybe they'll do it.
Got it. All right. Stephen has a comment. I use the past printed modules to remind me of past adventures, and even the most basic room description would be enough to jog my memory of the good times.
Sure.
David has a question. Ever consider a Cthulhu-themed year, or did I miss that in a previous year?
Yeah. Well, probably not. We haven't. It doesn't seem medieval enough for me. I mean, we can do a quasi kind of Cthulhu thing, but yeah, whenever I've played those kind of role-playing games, it's always seemed like it went well with like the 20s, using Tommy guns and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, we could have some massive curse, evil, crazy, drives you insane monster at some point. Sure. Yeah, as long as it's kind of we can base it in the medieval world. So sure.
Okay. And Vicky has a question. I'm not sure if it's who it is, so we could both answer it. Vicky wants to know, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Wow. Well, probably what you're looking at right there, blue. There's a reason why 2 of these logos are blue.
Okay. By the way, correct. That's my favorite color as well, blue. So.
Yeah, that's probably
Got it.
But yeah. Okay. That's what I said in kindergarten, so I'm sticking with it.
All right. So Chris says, if I recall, rights holders for Cthulhu tends to be very twitchy, but I could be wrong. Amy says, Elder Brain, done. Dennis says, a photo book, virtual or printed, would also be nice alternative to the modules. It would be cool to remember the rooms and puzzles. Tyler says Lovecraft should be open domain. And other people are agreeing that blue is the best. But Gilstripe says purple. All right. Now, besides all of these cool modules, kicking it up a notch, animatronics, NPCs, you're also presenting a new ticket option. What? That's right. You heard it here first, folks. A new ticket option for tickets for True Dungeon at Gen Con. Dun, dun, dun. So here is an example. 1 ticket for 3 adventures. That's right, 1 ticket for 3 adventures. For those of you who have played D&D before, it's very similar to that. You have like a track. You could be this time zone or section of time in the morning where you play like the first couple of modules and the next couple the next day and the next couple the next day. So it seems to be just exactly like that. So here's a morning track example. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You play part 1 on Thursday, part 2 on Friday, and part 3 on Saturday. So tell us about this 1 ticket 3 adventures, Jeff.
Well, I mean, we're not. This is going to be the same cost as if you'd bought them separately. So we're not trying to do it to do any kind of revenue thing. But I just thought it'd be nice for the folks that really want to play all 3, and maybe they would prefer if they could play it kind of in the suggested order. That we try to give them a ticket where they could make that happen. And that way they don't have to, Anyway, I thought this would be a nice idea to try. It's limited. There's only going to be 10 slots available out of the whole, well, it's 30 altogether, 10 a day. Everything in the 11 o'clock and everything in the 7 p.m. hour, those are the multi-track events. Everything else throughout the day is just normal.
There's an evening example.
it gives you a chance to play them in the suggested order, spaced out by exactly 24 hours. And hopefully you have a great time. And this is kind of an experiment. We'll see um, how folks like it and that kind of thing. But I just thought it would be a nice thing to do. It's a lot of hassle, believe me, to admin and to get it into the system and and all that. And we're not charging anything extra, but I just thought it'd be just a nice thing to do for folks that really want to do it this way. So hopefully this will be nice for some people.
And if you buy a ticket, let's say so I showed you a morning example, and here's an evening example. On Thursday at 7 p.m., you want to show up, a little early. You'll get your 10 packs for all 3 runs, and your wristbands for all 3 runs as well, right?
Yeah, correct. There's an awesome link that you'll share later, I think, that explains it all. I think it's truedungeon.com/grand-arc.
Yeah, I think that's it here. Let me find it real quick.
But that'll have more of the details and some examples and such. There's a broken link at the bottom about the trailer that I haven't put in there yet because we just premiered it. It'll get added tomorrow. But
okay.
Anyway, so hopefully this will be a nice little help for some folks that really want to play all 3.
Right, and here is so in the Gen Con ticketing system, this is how you find it. This is the name of it, and this is also, you can see it on the Grand-Arc link that I just shared in chat. It's called Complete 2025 Adventure Trilogy Morning Track, and you guessed it, there's a evening track as well. Let me jump back to the morning track here. So for instance, as Jeff said, there's 5 runs in the morning and then 5 in the evening. So if you grab the 11 o'clock one on Thursday, that means you will also play the 11:01 version on Friday and the 11:02 version, part 3, on Saturday. So 11:12, 11:13, 11:14, 11:24, 11:25, 11:26, and so on. So that's the morning. And here is the evening version. All of this is on that link that I just shared, and Jeff is going to share that out through a newsletter in the very near future. Looks like people are loving this in chat. Bundle packs, they're calling it. 10 slots, love it. Steve has a question/statement. So you will also be with the same players, which will be cool. That's true, kind of like with that D&D thing. But something that Jeff mentioned, that D&D thing, for those of you who know about it, it does cost more to do those track things here. So, but this is the same price, which is kind of cool. Lori says, glad you all like it. We weren't sure. Kenneth has a suggestion, bundle for volunteers to run. David thinks it's a great idea. Wade has a good question. Will you be able to buy all 10 tickets to the bundled runs?
Yes. Yep. Just like normal.
Okay, just like
We
normal.
want all everybody has their group they like to run with, so we are letting people buy all 10 just like the normal slots.
So if you click fast. Myron says, I love the idea, but am concerned that it would be even more impossible to get that kind of ticket at Gen Con. Click fast, baby. And Lori explains it a little more as well. And let's see if there's any questions in here. A lot of people loving it. Myron asks, are you doing that at Gamehole Con as well? The morning and evening track.
I don't know. We'll see. I guess we really got to have the tickets in. I'll talk to Alex about it. We'll see. It looks and talk to the smart ladies that do all the hard work with the ticketing and putting all that in. But it seems like folks like it. So.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, this a Gamehole is just one run, right? So this is really better for Gen Con.
Yeah, it's definitely better for multiplayer. But I mean, if somebody might want to like play hey, I'd like to play the module every day or like on
Oh,
Thursday,
I
or
see.
Thursday
Okay.
at 7, Friday at 7, or 5:30. I don't know. So we could do a couple of those maybe
Got it.
if they wanted to play 3 times, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Eden says, I wish they were all the same day instead of separate days. I love the idea, though. Myron says that
Yeah,
these...
I thought about back to back kind of with like an hour break, but this is probably more sane. We don't want to drive anybody crazy.
Mm-hmm. Our normal groups do that anyway. Byron says, are those tickets sold on Gen Con site? Yes. And they are titled what you see here at the top. Complete 2025 Adventure Trilogy, Evening Track, or Morning Track. And these are the times.
And I think the catalog comes out tomorrow. You'll see them in there. You can wish list them, and good luck. Hopefully.
Yep, right. Click fast. Okay, so Canado also wishes they were all on the same day. Matthew says it's fantastic. And Raven says this track sounds like a great way for newer players to experience the quest with the Pug. Pug is pickup group, if you didn't know, and get to know people over the course of the weekend. Yeah, that's right. Imagine if you got these tickets with new people. I mean, before you know it, you've got new friends, which is the greatest thing about True Dungeon.
Yeah, that was the most fun I think I had at Gen Con. That was the second year, way back in 1984. Oh man, 83. Sorry, first one was in 82. Yeah, we played in the AD&D Open. That was the big event back then. There was 1,000 players. It was a huge, and there was only like 6,000 people at Gen Con at that time. Yeah, and we got into a group for the AD&D Open. We ended up getting to the finals, and yeah, we stuck together. And we sent good old snail mail. This is before email. So we all, for several years after that, we all sent postcards and letters and coordinated our AD&D runs together, so we could all still hang out and do all that. So it's a good time.
That's super cool. Yeah, I think these are the kind of friends that you can make forever as well. All right, so let me check in with chat. If you have any more questions, we're going to be wrapping up soon. So if you have any questions, please ask away. All right, so I'm trying to catch up with the chat, see if there's any questions. Crystal says, what's going to Gamehole Con? That's Eldest Ice Unbroken, right?
Yes, yep. So you can play every module at Gen Con or at one of the smaller cons. So it's possible if you go to all like 4 of those cons that you'll play everything twice if you want.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you can't get 2 runs at Gen Con and you can go to the other conventions, then you could do like the combat or the puzzle choice. Right. At Origins is the Raid on Ravenshold. At San Japan is Rune Crag Crypt. And then at Gamehole Con is Eldest Ice Unbroken, and then all 3 are at Gen Con. So that's what's happening there. All right, so it looks like a lot of people are really loving this thing, but people are also voting for more slots to be bundles, and some are saying that they would like the back-to-back. And Sin ERS3 has a question. What is the velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
So is it, which one what you asking there? So we'll see what Sin ERS3 says. Speaking Sin ERS3 says, I don't know. So good answer.
All right.
Now, how about we close out on a happy, fun note here? Any last questions? Shoot them in the chat now. But how about we watch that Gen Con trailer one more time, because it was awesome. And here we go. Very cool. I love that little raven sound at the end there. All right, so we do have a question. Steven has a question, and someone else earlier asked that question, and I said we would get to it later, and here we are. The question is, what is the True Dungeon ticket price for Gen Con?
Well, it's going to be higher than last year. All the adventures are going to be $128, which is $10 more than what we charge for the Snake Temple thing. So hopefully you guys will still support us there. Just costs keep going up, and we keep spending more money on this kind of stuff. I can't help it. So appreciate you guys putting up with that, and especially with the kind of the uncertainty around tariffs and all that. It just made it seem a prudent idea to see if we could, especially since we're not doing a fourth adventure, we needed to raise prices. So sorry, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
Okay, got it. All right. So it looks like Belinda thinks that the Grand Arc bundles will be super popular. I think they'll be popular as well. And people are enjoying the trailer. And Chris says Raven needs the Raven prop after use. Most of us just need it as a necklace. And Lori has a comment. Wow, the parents of the video guy must be so proud. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah, again. So Raven says that's a crow sound at the end. Ravens are deeper sounding. Shows what I know. I don't know anything. And Gen X Hooser says good job on the video. Gilstrife says money well spent. So there you go. We got a thumbs up there. John also liked the video. So does Ryan. And Lori is taking the thanks and will pass it along. Kresimir says, by the way, Holy Grail is playing in theaters tomorrow and Wednesday. He's going tomorrow. So there we go. PB
Nice.
the Hammer says ticket prices can go up, especially since tokens have been the same price for 20 plus years. David says Trent the giant token behind you is sweet. I agree. That is awesome. And John says Drake is awesome. And Eric says, yes, keep the token prices down. And there we go. All right, so thank you very much, chat. We should let Jeff get back to preparing for Gen Con. Any final thoughts or anything you want to share with our audience before I let you go back to work, Jeff?
Just thanks for letting me have a lot of fun this year. Seeing all this stuff, painting all these walls, and making all the adventures in the really cool puzzle that's right there you can't see. I'm just a lucky guy, and thanks to the TD team for putting up with me and all my craziness and all the crazy ideas, and thanks to all the volunteers that allow this all to happen. So lucky guy.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Everybody in chat is saying thank you. I really appreciate you spending time with us and answering all of our questions. And I think we're all very excited for Origins, Gen Con, San Japan, and all the above. GamehoCon as well, of course. So we'll all see you. And if I could speak personally, and I know from the people that I run with all the time, and I think the majority of the people, we understand the trials and tribulations of running a business as well, and we appreciate everything that you and Lori and the whole team does. And I'm sure that we'll all do our best to continue to support you and True Dungeon, because you've created something that brings us all joy. And for all the new people, I think they'll immediately understand what an incredible community that you have allowed to become part of this experience. So I know I'll keep supporting it as long as it's here, and I suspect many others will as well. So thank you again, Jeff, Lori, and the whole team, and we'll let you get back to work. And I appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Okay, see you next time. Okay, bye, Jeff. Everybody say bye, Jeff. All right, so that was Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon, an incredible guy. And I appreciate his time and everyone else's time. I want to remind everyone that this is it. We're putting the the scissors on the time to sign up for this. So click on that link really quickly, and if you haven't done that yet, and put your information in, because we're about to do the live drawings. So first things first, you guys talk amongst yourselves, because I need to go and grab this list of people. Let's see, looks like we have 95 responses. But I need to first make sure we have no duplicates here. There shouldn't be duplicates. So give me a second here. Again, talk some much here. Garrett says we're up to 510 subs. Oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. I really, 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 really appreciate that. That's awesome. Man, how about that? Up to 500. That's so cool. All right, so let's see if we have any duplicates. Okay, no duplicates. All right, so last chance here, boys and girls. I'm going to hit refresh. Looks like we have 95 responses. Oh, nope, we do have a couple of more here. All right, so people were... All right, so let's see where we left off here. Looks like a couple people have signed up. All right, so it looks like snowboard was the last one. So we've got 3 more here. Let me add them to the list. Okay, so I'm gonna hit refresh one more time, and then that's I gotta put the kibosh here. Okay, so Irish Blade, you are the last one, and we've got 98 subs, or not 98 subs, 98 people who have signed up. Let me do a data cleanup one more time. No duplicates, and someone put their address in. Okay, so Ottumwa, Iowa. Is that you, John? Salsa John? Okay, so John at True Dungeon, you signed up here. I'm deleting that one. So you know what we're going to say? We're going to say that's Salsa John. So if John at True Dungeon wins, that's going to be Salsa John. Okay. So Salsa John, you put in your your mailing address instead of your email address, you silly goose. Okay, so let me go to this screen. Oh, hold on a second. All right. So there we go. So yes, I'm now sharing this screen. I thought that this showed that. I guess it doesn't. Interesting. All right, so this is what we'll do here. Let me do like this. All right, so this is the screen. All right, so John at True Dungeon says, boo, too bad. I noticed your name. So again, Salsa John, you put your mailing address like a silly goose instead of your email address. So if John, goes for everybody, if John at True Dungeon wins, that's going to be Salsa John, which is right here. So there's John. That's not John. That's Salsa John. And everyone else, you can see your names here. And there were no duplicates. So we got all the way from JM Beard 83 to Irish Blade. Now we are going to do this in reverse order. The first spin is going to be for third prize. The second spin, second prize, second place. The third spin, first place, and the final spin will be for the golden ticket. So away we go. And John says, sorry about that's my bad. All right, now, especially for the newer people, in order to win, you need to be here right now. When their name is pulled here from this wheel here, I need you in chat to say, hey, I'm here, that's me. Okay, and I'll give you a little bit of time for the lag time to say that, hey, that's me, but you have to say something, or it's not going to work. That's the only way. And if nobody says anything, we're going to move on to the next person. All right, so this is for third place, which is a 1K bar. I'm actually looking at the tokens right now, and a 10x treasure chip. So good luck, everybody. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to write it down old-fashioned way, too. All right, good luck. Who wins third place? It's going to be Cover Stealing Badger. All right, Cover Stealing Badger. All right. Okay, cool. Cover Stealing Badger, say something. Oh, yeah, so Ross says, should this show names instead of emails? Yeah, it probably should. Okay. Okay, so that's cover stealing. You are here. All right. Okay, so, yeah. I did emails this time. Sorry. I'll do names next time. All right, so I see you saying hello, cover stealing. Thank you very much. All right, so now let's go for second place, which is going to be a 5K bar and a 3X chip. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Exile's Journey. Say hello in chat, Exile's Journey. Say hello in chat. Exile's Journey, are you here? Say hello in chat. Yeah. Guess our email addresses are forever going to exist in this video. Maybe Trent needs to cut this out. Maybe. Who is this? Say your name. Yeah, I should have done names, but I've already started, so I can't undo it. Ross, is that you? Are you Exile's Journey? Ross is Exiles. Okay, awesome. Okay. So, thank you, Ross. Okay, so that is that one. Now we're going to go to first place, which is a 25K bar and a single chip for treasure. And that is going to be Korax Vakur. Say hello in chat. Say hello. Congrats to a 25K bar. Steel Kiss 1, is that you? That's me? Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right, this is it for the golden ticket. Good luck, everybody. The golden ticket. Dun, dun, dun. Good luck. The winner is... Oh, Brian. Say hello in chat. Brian, say hello in chat. For the golden ticket grand prize. Brian. Oh, there is Brian. Okay, sweet. That is everybody. And yeah, sorry about I should have done the names. That's what I normally do. But emails definitely work. All right, so congrats to all the winners. Cover Stealing Badger is third. Exile's Journey is second. Corex Volker is first, and Brian Goss is the GT. I will email you information on, to just confirm your mailing address. And remember, all those new people in chat, send me an email at trent@trenttokens.com, and I'll give you a little welcome to the True Dungeon World gift. And congrats, Brian, on the big grand prize of the golden ticket. I will send you all the information you need for that. And thank you all in chat for watching the show live. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this show later than live, I appreciate that as well. For all the people who have already liked and subscribed, thank you very much. You've now pushed me over 500 subscribers, which is an amazing thing to get to. And again, this is the 8th anniversary of Trent Tokens. You can go to trenttokens.com between now and May 14th, and there's a 10% special for everything on the site. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching the show. And let's not forget, one of my favorite things to say is it's really hard to frown if you're smiling. So smile.